An Ohio Republican lawmaker suggested that critics of her anti-trans legislation be weighed down and thrown into the ocean.
Whatsoever you do to the least of my people, that you do unto me. How do you jive this bill with the teachings that you proclaim?
In Luke 17, Jesus says that if you caused one of these little ones of mine to stumble, it would be better for you to have a millstone hung around your neck and be thrown into the deepest sea. So there are also concerns that Jesus has for children, and in Genesis he tells us that he created them male and female.
That was State Representative Beth Lear, who apparently, believes that she's in church. She must be confused about something because religion does not belong in the government. Okay? Not your religion, not any religion. No religion. Okay? So it's pretty weird to see people quoting scripture, although to be fair, I do want to point out that the person asking her the question, and it's a fair question, right? How this jives with their personal beliefs. He did it first. Okay. Now, Lear is behind the bill that would ban transgender students from using bathrooms that align with their gender identity. So ultimately, this is one of those anti-trans bathroom bills, the result of which would see the few transgender students in the school system get put into a bathroom where they could be in physical danger. Now, wait a minute. I thought this was supposed to protect the girls. Okay, but it doesn't. The thing is, in North Carolina, they had a bathroom bill, ended up getting repealed because it made women more likely to be victim of harassment. So you understand how that works? When you pass anti-trans laws, it's often non-trans girls that get dragged into it as well. They get victimized along with, of course, trans women. And so that's why trans misogyny is just plain old misogyny with extra steps. That's what it is. So now, and this is how it works, by the way. If you're, a girl, you're not dressed in the right way, or if your body doesn't appear feminine enough for certain people, they get the right, apparently, under these laws, to harass you and possibly even assault you. That's messed up. And even more disturbing with these laws is that you end up with people, sometimes adults, that are there now examining children's bodies to determine what genitals they may or may not have. It's incredibly disgusting. It's gross. It's messed up. Unnecessary. And yet people like her are like, no, we're all on board. Genital inspections for children, everybody. Yeah, no, there's only one kind of person that supports genital inspections for children, and that's a pedophile. But she's not done. Lear also compared gender dysphoria to delusions of being an animal. In fact, here's what she said. If I had a child who thought he was a bird, am I going to take him to a doctor who tells him the best thing to do is to let him explore being a bird? Oh, and by the way, there's a 5-story building next door. Why don't you jump off it and see if you can fly? Okay, so look, this is their first disgusting comment, right? But it's their one joke. The one joke that they have. And they trot it out all the time. Oh, I identify as a attack helicopter. Oh, it's an absurdist argument. It's not really a gotcha. And here's why. There are tens of thousands of trans women who live as women every single day. There are trans men who live as men every single day. They dress as men, act as men, dress as women, act as women. Who's living their life as a bird? Who's living their life as an attack helicopter? Nobody. Nobody. It's a ridiculous, absurdist, extreme argument that has no basis in reality. It's not the same. Now, back to Lear. So, speaking of pretending to be something that she's not, she's pretending to be a moral person. Pretending to be protecting the children. Which is, again, ridiculous, as these kinds of bills actually end up hurting children, specifically trans children. Okay? And saying that her critics, who are trying to protect trans children, who are, again, not harming anyone else, should be thrown into the deep sea. Pretty awful. Pretty awful thing to say. Pretty awful thing to believe. I mean, are we going back to that? Are the people that actually believe, oh yeah, no, we should go back to the time where you tie millstones around people's necks and throw them into the sea. Why not stone them? Stone women for being unfaithful to their husbands. We're going to go back to that too? No, that's the kind of world that they want to create. And they're using their scripture to do it. Using their Bibles to harm other people, that makes you a garbage person.